McLaren didn't build the W1 to impress you. They built it to expose you. This car doesn't care if you're rich. It doesn't care if you're experienced, and it definitely doesn't care if you're ready. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the McLaren W1 might be the most unforgiving hypercar ever made, and why most people who buy it will never truly drive it. In the next 15 minutes, I'll break down 3 defining moments that reveal what the W1 really is, not on spec sheets, but on the road. McLaren W1. To understand the McLaren W1, you have to forget what most hypercars are trying to do. Bugatti chases dominance. Ferrari chases heritage. Koenigsegg chases engineering flex. McLaren chases lap time purity. And nothing else. The W1 exists for one reason only, to answer a question McLaren engineers have been obsessing over for years. What happens if we remove every compromise that isn't directly related to speed, control, and feedback? Not comfort, not usability, not even beauty. That mindset is dangerous, because it creates cars that don't care about the driver's ego. The W1 is not a sequel to the P1 in spirit. It's a correction. After the P1, the industry went hybrid crazy, screen heavy, and performance safe. Cars became fast, but predictable, impressive, but filtered. McLaren saw that and said no, so they went back to fundamentals. Minimal mass, extreme aerodynamics, mechanical grip over software tricks, driver first, everything. Second, the result is a car that feels closer to a Le Mans prototype with license plates than a luxury hypercar. And here's the part most people miss. McLaren didn't design the W1 to be admired in garages. They designed it to be slightly uncomfortable, even intimidating. Because fear sharpens focus. Every surface on the W1 has a job. Every line exists because airflow demanded it. Every decision was filtered through one brutal rule. If it doesn't make the car faster or more connected, it doesn't belong. That philosophy explains everything you're about to see next. And it leads us directly into the first defining moment, the one that tells you instantly whether this car respects you or is testing you. Acceleration. This is where most hypercars try to impress you. Big numbers. Launch control drama. A clean, rehearsed explosion of speed. The McLaren W1 does none of that. There's no theatrical countdown, no ready, go moment. You press the throttle, and the car removes the idea of buildup. What hits you first isn't speed. It's weight deletion. The W1 doesn't feel like it's accelerating. It feels like gravity has been turned off behind you, and that's intentional. McLaren engineers focus less on 0 to 100 numbers and more on force delivery shape, how power arrives, how violently, and how honestly. No artificial torque spikes, no software smoothing to protect your nerves. Power comes in raw, rising layers, like a race engine climbing toward its purpose. Your brain expects traction control to step in. It barely does, because instead of fighting physics with code, the W1 attacks it mechanically. Ultra-low rotational inertia aggressive. Rear aero loading from the first meter, a powertrain tuned for connection, not comfort. The scary part? The car never feels like it's trying hard. There's no screaming for grip. No drama. No warning. Just relentless forward violence. Clean, quiet, surgical. And here's the detail most reviews gloss over. The throttle pedal isn't linear. At 40%, it feels calm. At 60%, it feels serious. Past 70%, the car stops negotiating. This is not an accident. McLaren designed the pedal to punish sloppy inputs. If you stab it, the car responds instantly, not to scare you, but to expose you. This is where casual drivers get uncomfortable, because the W1 doesn't flatter you, it doesn't soften mistakes, it doesn't translate your inputs into something safer. It simply does exactly what you ask. That's why collectors will say it's brutal, and real drivers will say it's honest. By the time you hit triple digits, something clicks. This car isn't trying to impress you. It's asking a question, are you precise enough to deserve this? And if acceleration is the first test of honesty, then the next section is the one that breaks egos completely. Because this is where most hypercars lie to you. Driver experience. This is where the McLaren W1 separates drivers from spectators. Most modern hypercars filter steering. They soften feedback, they protect confidence. The W1 does the opposite. The steering wheel isn't a comfort interface, it's a truth device. The first thing you notice is how sharp it is. How quiet it feels. No vibration theater, no fake resistance, no sport mode heaviness, gimmicks. Just clean information. Every degree of steering input produces an immediate proportional reaction at the front axle. Not amplified, not damped, just honest. And here's what most people misunderstand. The W1 steering is designed to feel exciting at low speed. At parking lot speeds, it feels almost boring, neutral, unimpressive. That's intentional, because McLaren tuned it for high load clarity, not Instagram test drives. Once lateral G builds, the wheel comes alive, not by fighting you, but by talking back. You feel exactly how much grip the front tires have the precise moment the contact patch begins. To load the instant before understeer would even think about appearing there. There's no delay. And that's the scary part. Most cars give you time to react. The W1 assumes you already know what you are doing. Make a clean input, the car rewards you with precision that feels telepathic. Make a sloppy input, the car does correct you. It records your mistake. You feel it immediately. Mid-corner, there's no artificial self-centering force pulling the wheel straight. The wheel stays exactly where physics wants it. That means overcorrect, and the car tells you hold, too much lock, and you feel the scrub nail the line, and the car feels frictionless. This is why casual drivers call it nervous. It's not nervous, it's unforgiving, and McLaren knew exactly what they were doing here. They deliberately avoided steer-by-wire tricks that mask surface changes. Instead, they engineered mechanical geometry that sends microinformation straight through the column. You don't just steer the W1, you negotiate with it. This is also why the car feels smaller than it is. Because when steering feedback is this pure, your brain builds a precise mental map of the car's footprint. You stop guessing. You start placing, millimeter-level placement. By the time you exit a fast corner, something uncomfortable happens. You realize the car isn't the limiting factor. You are. And that realization hits harder than any acceleration stat. But steering is only half the story. Because once you trust the front end, the W1 does something almost cruel with the rear. The rear end that refuses to save you. This is where the McLaren W1 stops being polite. Modern performance cars are built to protect the driver. Traction control steps in early. Torque gets trimmed. Slides are softened, rounded, sanitized. The W1 rejects that philosophy completely. Not because it's reckless, but because McLaren assumes something radical. That if you bought this car, you want the truth. The rear end of the W1 is non-stable. It's honest. There's a massive difference. Under power, the rear doesn't snap. It doesn't suddenly let go. Instead, grip bleeds away progressively. But only if your inputs are clean enough to feel it. The first sign isn't wheel spin. It's load shift. You feel the rear tires unload through your hips before you ever feel it in the steering wheel. That's deliberate chassis tuning. McLaren wanted your body, not electronics, to be the first warning system. Now here's where people get it wrong. They say McLaren's traction control is aggressive. That's false. The system is actually late, not early. It lets the slip angle grow. It lets the rear rotate. It lets you flirt with instability. But it will not save you from bad decisions. If you roll into throttle progressively, the W1 feels glued. The aero loads the rear, the chassis squats, the car hooks up and fires forward with violence that feels mechanical, not digital. But if you stab the throttle mid-corner, the rear doesn't panic. It exposes you. No dramatic snap. No cartoon slide. Just a clean, unmistakable message. You asked for more than physics allows. And this is where the W1's weight distribution matters. The car carries its mass low and centralized, but the rear is still dominant. That means rotation is always available, but never free. You earn it. Unlike all-wheel drive hypercars that pull you out of trouble, the W1 demands commitment. Once the rear starts rotating, lifting suddenly makes it worse, overcorrecting adds instability. Hesitation compounds the problem. The car rewards decisiveness, not bravery. This is why professional drivers love it, and why inexperienced drivers fear it. Because the W1 doesn't flatten mistakes into something manageable. It preserves them in high definition. And here's the uncomfortable truth most reviews won't say. The W1 is not dangerous, but it is indifferent. It does not care about your confidence level. It does not care about your ego. It does not care that you paid 7 figures. The rear end behaves exactly the same every time, which means the variable is always you. Once you adapt, something incredible happens. You stop fighting the car. You start working with it. Throttle becomes a steering tool. Rotation becomes predictable. Exits feel surgical. And when you finally get it right, the W1 doesn't celebrate. It doesn't dramatize the moment. It just goes faster. Quietly, efficiently, brutally. But here's the twist. All this mechanical purity would mean nothing if the car collapsed under sustained abuse. So the real question isn't how it feels for one corner. It's how it holds together when everything gets hot, violent, and relentless. The heat test. This is the part nobody shows you on Instagram. One pull, one launch, one clean corner. That's easy. Any modern hypercar can look god tier for 10 seconds. The real exposure happens after that, when heat builds, systems saturate, and the engineering excuses start showing up. Batteries heat soak, motors derate, gearboxes soften shifts, brakes lose bite. Throttle mapping quietly dulls itself. Most cars lie politely. The McLaren W1 doesn't. McLaren engineered this car with a single obsession: repeatability, not lap time, not headline numbers, consistency under abuse. Let's break down what that actually means. Thermal reality check. The W1's cooling layout looks excessive until you understand the goal. Multiple airflow paths feed. Engine, transmission, hybrid components, brakes, air, surfaces that double as heat extractors. This isn't about peak performance, it's about not losing it. After multiple hard laps, the throttle response doesn't soften. Boost doesn't taper. Power delivery doesn't suddenly feel filtered. What you feel on lap 5 feels disturbingly similar to lap 1. That alone separates the W1 from most modern hypercars. Brakes under punishment. Carbon ceramics usually tell on themselves when hot. Pedal treble grows. Initial bite fades. Confidence drops. In the W1, the pedal stays. Firm, linear, predictable. That's not magic. That's airflow, pad choice, and calibration discipline. McLaren tuned braking not for comfort, but for trust. You don't brake earlier because you're scared. You brake later because the car keeps its promise. Hybrid system, silent discipline. Here's the shocking part. The hybrid system never announces itself. No artificial surge. No dramatic boost hit. No obvious transition. That's intentional. The electric assistance exists to fill gaps, not create spectacle. Which means when heat builds, there's nothing dramatic to lose. The system doesn't fall off a cliff, because it never lived on one. This is why the W1 feels mechanically consistent, even when it's technically complex. McLaren hid the technology on purpose. Driver fatigue versus car fatigue. Most cars get harder to drive as sessions go on. Steering weight changes, brake feel shifts, throttle response dulls. The W1 does the opposite. As you push harder, you get tired, but the car stays the same. That's unsettling, because it removes your excuses. If the lap time drops, it's not the machine. It's you, and that honesty is rare. The quiet flex. Here's what McLaren didn't market loudly, but should have. The W1 doesn't chase drama. It doesn't build moments. It builds reliability at the edge, which means when everything is hot, loud, violent, and unforgiving, the car remains calm. And calm at 300 kilometers per hour is more terrifying than chaos. But there's still one question left, not about speed, not about control, not about engineering, about identity. Because none of this matters if the car doesn't feel like a McLaren. Conclusion. Let's be brutally clear. The McLaren W1 is not here to impress lazy viewers, casual fans, or spec sheet addicts. It doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't beg for validation. It doesn't try to go viral. And that's exactly why most people will misunderstand it. If you're looking for drama, engine noise that punches you in the chest, gimmicks that feel exciting for 30 seconds, or a car that performs best only when conditions are perfect, this is not your car. The W1 doesn't flatter you. It doesn't compensate for mistakes. It doesn't hide behind theatrics. It exposes you. What McLaren built here is something far rarer than speed, truth. Truth in steering, truth in braking, truth in balance, truth in repeatability. This car doesn't ask, do you feel fast? It asks, are you actually fast? That's uncomfortable. And that's why it matters. The W1 isn't the loudest hypercar. It isn't the flashiest. It isn't the most emotional in the traditional sense, but it might be the purest. Because while other manufacturers chase moments, McLaren chase mastery. And mastery is quiet, so no. The McLaren W1 will not be loved by everyone. But the people who understand it won't just admire it, they'll respect it. And respect lasts longer than hype. If you want to see how this philosophy compares to Ferrari's approach with the Elettrica, or why Bugatti takes the opposite path entirely, check the playlist on screen right now. Next video, Bugatti Brouillard, why XS might still win, that's the real debate.